Hello. I am not here at this time. Please leave your message after the beep tone.
You're home listening to this message right now, which is in the future tense. You're not now, but in the future you're listening to this message, playing it back.
Hey, Scott, it's Monday at 7 p.m. Yeah, definitely in terms of creating a community, man. Community is where it's at.
It is said that we should stay in the moment. But sometimes I like remembering the past. In the late 60s, my parents escaped the cold winters of the Northeast and made their way to sunny Southern California, where I was born. My name is Scott. Eventually, we moved north to the beautiful Napa Valley, but my dad did not come with us. My mom's vision for our family went beyond the traditional model.
I found out about this alternative school, and I met a lot of really great people there, and one of the couples that I met there had 44 acres, and they wanted to start a community. We cooked together, ate together, and would sing together in front of the fire.
For most of us, our first community was our family. As we grew older, we found ourselves members of additional communities. Sometimes, however, we haphazardly fell into communities that did not align with our goals and aspirations. Or some of us went through times of no community at all. Numerous psychological studies show conclusively that community is a basic human need, that it is a huge factor in the degree of fulfillment and happiness in our lives. Community is a social nutrient that nourishes us deeply. One of the places where community is especially nourishing is the San Francisco Bay Area.
Here, cold air rises from the chilled waters flowing southward from Alaska, creating seasonal dense fogs that wrap the region in mystery. Eerie in its gray-white beauty, gleaming like snow in the sun, the fogs have tempered the climate of this land, conditioned its development, and perhaps even affected the character and vigor of its people. The Golden Gate is more than a romantic name. It is truly America's gateway to the Pacific, to Alaska, to Hawaii, and the islands beyond. In this cosmopolitan city, one may visit a sidewalk cafe reminiscent of Paris, where friends meet to talk and watch the passing crowd. The people of San Francisco dress well, walk briskly, and their friendliness, as much as the charm of their city, causes visitors to return again and again. Many remain to call San Francisco their home.
Over the hills and all along the way, we're building a dream for tomorrow. We're building a dream for tomorrow.
You ever been to San Francisco?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
You know, that's the most unusual thing. I've never yet run into anybody who ever had anything derogatory to say about the place. Everybody who goes there falls in love with it. But there's a whole new scene now in San Francisco. As they say, this is where it's at. That's where everything is happening.
In 1968, almost every American knew what these were: hippies. A few of the estimated 16 million cultural rebels who abandoned 1950s notions about how life in America should be lived.
If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair.
And by 1968, almost everyone in America knew what these people were too: student protesters, activists.
In 1980, we moved to Berkeley, a place historically known for its commitment to community and activism. But in the 80s, the San Francisco Bay mirrored a national tendency to look out for oneself. Dramatic world events suggested the importance of community. It appeared as though a new wave of intentional communities was on the horizon. In anticipation, I saved my answering machine messages for the next 15 years, with the vision that it would one day tell a story. Here is a glimpse of that story. with 8 transformative communities. In 1991, I had just graduated from UC Berkeley. My friend Erwan Devon and I were moved to start an intentional community.
In terms of creating a community, man, community is where it's at. We'll do more groups and meet people.
As our launching event, we held a series of encounter groups. One of our first participants included Chris Gripke and Stuart Gilfillan.
I think I had heard the term encounter group maybe once before, like from the 60s. What does that look like? Well, we'll just be in a room for 6 hours. You can't talk about the past, you can't talk about the future, you just have to be in the moment and say what's going on.
Being in the moment together unleashed a lot of love. We named our group The Community. We held many events over the next several years. The connection led to a growing community. I went on to create the Fractal Bridge Institute and led 50 art of group communication salons that included singing and dance. Which contributed to heart opening and connection. If she was here right now, what would you want to communicate?
I tell her I love her, very much, and think about her all the time.
Our community contributed to the rise of gratitude parties, Raise the Frequency, and Radiance. Erwan went on to lead many courses.
No one experienced the true source of happiness. What is the true source of happiness, really?
Since 1995, Erwan Devon has taught more than 5,000 singles and couples how to have thrilling love and sex lives.
Besides Erwan and myself, some, but not all, of the earliest members of the community included Chris Gripke, Alexander Kunch, Adam Kutz, Chris Berkman, Damian Jones, Rich Reinhold, and Jerry Candelaria and Guy Sengstock. For the next 10 years, they led almost 100 weekend courses called Arate, would take the community to entirely new levels of evolution. In 1998, Jerry Candelaria and Guy Sengstock developed a group process called circling.
Just the impossible happened. I've never seen anything like that, where 40 people show up for 8 people in the course. It created just such a pure space, and the kinds of relationships that formed in that space, marriages. I mean, we've been to people's weddings, they met there. A whole world has come out of that.
Interconnected with Arate were the men's and women's circles, learning to be more authentic and to explore their life purpose.
The other angle that I feel is really important is the women's circles, because that was a big piece and that became foundational for other things to grow.
The community grew in complexity, like a fractal tree.
More people come in and go off in new directions. We start to get multiple organizations that now form within this greater cloud of people that still stay together by mutual gravitation almost.
In 2002, Decker Kunov and Brian Bayer developed their own flavor of circling, first called Soul to Soul, which eventually became Authentic World.
Us loving each other open, and what happens when we're actually ourselves? Seriously, what would happen? And then meeting Jerry and Guy and seeing that they were doing it on purpose.
And just getting real with each other and circling non-stop.
One of the key women leaders of this time was Alexis Shepard, created the Authentic Women's Experience with Shayna James.
We're all in our own kind of unique experience and filters of the world, and most people feel really lonely. And when you get to the root desire of, I want to be seen or I want to be close to you, there's actually love at the base of that.
Raw food expert Jillian Love, a key participant in the community, branched out and founded this documentary. We will address issues such as sexism, racism, and other power imbalances in society.
The ERA movement, the women's movement, was in the 70s, and a lot of our mothers, aunts, whatnot, had experiences there. We were younger and trying to translate what they got from that wave of feminism into this manifestation of these groups.
For people of color and LGBT and women to really talk about
and unpack what is that oppression and what is that experience.
That there's this like intrinsic need and hunger and desire that we all have to be with each other. So like all these creative ways, something very structured like circling where it's like, let me get your world, or whether it's like an amazing hug that I had with Michael.
I just wanted to say something about what you said, and just about this kind of fragmentation or diversification, right, of the community. And I think it just says so much about the leadership that has been cultivated and encouraged within the community, that people are now like motivated to like listen to what they want to offer.
Amen.
And and they're creating their own dream.
How does technology affect community? How does community play a role in addressing public health issues like natural disasters? And the role community plays in improving mental health. And let's not forget that even watching movies like this is a kind of community experience. This documentary will help us reflect on, remember, and love our communities. The success of these 8 communities provide a best practices blueprint that can be applied to community building in multiple contexts, ranging from the arts, education, business, and local and state government, even to intractable international conflicts.
To Israel and Palestine and Russia and Ukraine, and that for me the future, whatever happens in all of the organizations, there is a future I see where circling actually continues to impact through every person who comes through a training or experiences circling and brings it back.
And include the perspective that we are not alone, that we are all in this together, that in this life, with the people we love,
There's something happening here.